Hello and welcome or welcome back to I Love God and I Love God and is a blog purpose for transparency and encouragement in my Christian journey. I Love God and is my reflection and my confession of the things that I struggle with daily. It is my sincere acknowledgement that although I have a desire to live more righteously, a desire to align my lifestyle more with that of Christ, that it isn't easy. But I am so excited today because I got a new haircut and I love my new haircut. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. But I'm Des, and thank you so much for your support. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and turn on your post notifications so that you are first in the know as to when I post a confessional. And today my confession is I love God and I don't even want to say the word. My confession is I love God and I'm aggressive. Like, it isn't fair. Like, I don't even think I'm aggressive, but so often my actions are described as being aggressive. So let's talk about it. In my confession, I love God and I'm an Aries. And if you haven't seen it, I'll drop the link below in the description box. But in that confession, I spoke to the fact that aggressive was one of the characteristics associated with my zodiac sign. And I also spoke to how haunting and displeasing that is to me. And so I was like, let's just get to the bottom of this. Aggressive, what is it? And so I took a look at it in the dictionary and its definition was two-dimensional. So one of the definitions for aggressive was ready and likely to confront. And some of the synonyms associated with that definition were hostile, belligerent, warlike. Like really? Warlike and antagonistic. And I don't know any young woman, especially a young woman in Christ, who would be comfortable with being depicted with those types of adjectives. And the other definition of aggressive was pursuing one's aims or interests forcefully. Like, why can't we just leave off forcefully? Like, why can't I just be pursuing my aims and my interests? But some of the synonyms listed for that definition included energetic and dynamic and assertive, which are more aligned with the spirit that I try to embody. So I just wanted to reflect on some of the different circumstances in which I have been referred to as aggressive to see which one of the definitions of aggressive was it that I was being yoked with constantly in my relationships. And so one of the occasions in which I was depicted as being aggressive was by one of my teachers, one of my colleagues. And she was like, after she had gotten to know me personally, was like, yeah, I do understand, why some people, don't really talk to you because you are aggressive. And I'm like, how? Like, y'all don't even really know me. Like, how am I aggressive? And she was like, well, in PLC, which is like our departmental meeting, in PLC, you are always like grading your papers or you're always just following through with your lesson plans. Like, is that not what they pay me to do? Like, how am I aggressive because I'm doing what I feel like is the right thing? And she was like, well, you just don't really engage us in conversation. You kind of be a little more serious. You don't do the banter back and forth. And I'm like, but do I not greet you guys? Do I not acknowledge you guys' presence? Well, no, you do all of that. All right. Next. And so then there was my ex-boyfriend. When we were dating, we were laughing one day about the fact that I had wanted him to approach me sooner than he really did. And he was just telling me like, like I saw you, but it was just like, you seem real aggressive. And I'm like, I'm in the mall. I'm shopping for hats. Like, what exactly am I supposed to be exuding? I don't understand. And he was like, but now that I know you, like, you goofier than I am. Like, okay. And then I have a really, really good friend of mine who shocked me one day when she told me, like, yeah, you have a very aggressive nature. You have a very intimidating presence until someone gets to know you. And I believe that until I got to know you. And I'm just like, how? Like, how? And she was just like, Desiree, whether you have that want or desire, like when you come into a room, like people notice, like your presence is felt. And I'm just like, well, what that got to do with me? Like, what does that have to do with me? That's not my fault. Like, I'm about to get aggressive talking about people telling me that I'm aggressive. That has absolutely nothing to do with me. And it wasn't until I went to graduate school and one of my professors mandated that I read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie that I got some sort of glimpse into why it was that the word aggressive was hunting me in my relationships. The author in the book is outlining different principles that we can include in our repertoire of skills for interacting and engaging with people in a manner that we may win friends and influence people. And some of those principles were: let the other person save face, smile, be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires, begin with honest praise and appreciation, talk in terms of the other person's interests, and make the other person feel important sincerely. And as I'm reading these different principles, my underlying thought was, so y'all simply want somebody to kiss y'all butt. And I was not with it. In my mind, if you and I came together for a common goal, we measure our success by achieving that goal. We don't measure our success by the friendliness of our relations. I was contemplating on the different circumstances in which it would not be advantageous for me to utilize these principles. I was contemplating on why me being confident in posing a question is considered aggressive. I contemplated, why does confrontation have to be associated with anger? Because I don't feel it to be necessary for me to be angry in order to confront you for something. And I was essentially looking for ways to circumvent simply treating people well. And at the same time I was reading this book, my devotion was in Proverbs. And my devotion happened to run across humility versus pride. And it spoke to humility resulting in wisdom and taking advice and leading to honor, ending in honor, and bringing honor, versus pride leading to disgrace and producing quarrel and leading to punishment and destruction, ending in downfall and bringing one down. And when I read that devotion, my spirit was so convicted, because here I am trying to be a wise student on a journey towards humility and maturity, yet I am not embracing the instruction and the criticism quietly. I am not loving the discipline. I'm not leading others to life, and I'm not taking the advice, and I'm not bringing honor. And it was simply pride. And as I thought about the different things that I wasn't doing, I realized that my actions in avoiding treating people well were contrary to the Spirit of Christ. It was contrary to the fruit of the Spirit. And I was wondering, like, how in the world could I forget, like, one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible, which is Galatians 5:22-23, that reads, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. It cost me absolutely nothing to lavish the love of God on others. It costs me absolutely nothing to exude the fruits of the Spirit, to embody the Spirit of Christ. It was simply my pride. And it allowed me to see that maybe not in the instances that I referenced in this video, but there were other times in my life where, yes, aggressive was the appropriate description of my character in some situations. And my prayer today is that going forward, I again exude the fruit of the Spirit, and I pray that I am poised and that I am elegant and that I'm full of grace in my relationships. And I pray that I always act with empathy and with understanding. And I pray that I become a better listener and that I listen with the intent of understanding instead of responding. And that when I do respond, that I respond and that I don't react. And I pray that I am perceived as friendly and open and approachable. And I pray that when people see me, they see Christ. And so, yes, that was my confession today. I love God and I was aggressive. And I just thank you so much for your support. If you have not, please subscribe to my channel and turn on your post notifications so you are first in the know when I post a confessional. And feel free to drop down below in the comments. Was there ever a time where you were perceived as aggressive or you came on a little too strong? How did you deal with that situation? In love, please leave your comments, your concerns, your questions, your grievances, any I love God and requests that you may potentially have. Please, again, do it in love. Spoken truth, not spoken in love, is unheard. And I just, again, thank you all. And I can't wait to see you at the next confessional. Pray for my strength and obedience. And remember, guys, God loves us. Don't change unless it hurts. Wishing you guys best.